Hey guys, Patrick Wind here and welcome to this training model in which I'm going to show you how to set up your Instagram bot to get new followers every single day. So how I'm going to structure this model is that I will first show you how to set up your account, and then I will walk you through my account and to show you how to create new promotions with followers or hashtags, for example. Then I will show you my personal advanced settings, and then last but not least I'll show you how to manage your Instagram bot on a daily basis. So sounds good? Then let's get started. First, before we can start with our promotions, with our campaigns, we have to set up our account, right? And as I said, I would recommend to work with Ploxia because they're the safest ones. They have self-management and they're very cheap, so with $10 to $20 per month. Moreover, they offer this 3 days free trial, so let's just get started with that. I would like to show you the 2 steps that you have to do in order to set up your account. For example, at sexarator.com. So put in your name, a valid email address. You will need that in order to confirm your accounts. The phone number you can put in your real one, but it's also not critical. Here it has to be at least six characters. So let's put in test 12, for example. And we don't have a coupon code, and that's good. Just put on your another robot here with all the traffic lights. Good. Okay, accept that. So the first step, easy. And now the second step is also very easy. I would just like to show you that it really matters now to add your account. Here they give you some recommendation, and what matters here is you have to give in your login information the same way that you would log in to Instagram. So it's basically this username here, okay, not down here, but your real username and your password. And then you could either use a proxy or not. It's not necessary. You can just add the account with your login. That's all good. And if you have a proxy, which is basically several servers that would be placed between the Instagram server and you as a user, and this would help you to add some additional security to your account. So Instagram would basically be impossible for them to see that it's a bot and that it's not an organic behavior. Working with a bot, working with those proxies, and you can just buy one and rent one and put in here the information. Or if you don't want to use a proxy, it's also no problem. You can just, it's also very safe this way. You can just put in your login information, add the account, and that's all good. Once these initial things are set up, then we're ready to enter our interface of Ploxia, for example. And as I said, in Ploxia, we can run promotions. For example, we can follow other Instagram profiles, and then the followers from this profile will become our own followers. How does it work? Well, for example, let's imagine we follow my friend Rafael Mayol, and he has almost 30,000 followers. And if I would type in here Rafael Mayol, that will work. So it would start searching for that. I could also copy the username. Very important, we don't take this name, we take the upper name, so the username, okay, not this one. In this case, they're very similar. However, that's the way the machine works. That's the way they find it. So I can just copy paste it here, and it will then show me a list of people that are somehow similar to this name. Okay, let's say, for example, this one. Well, that's exactly the one I'm looking for. So Rafael Mayol, for example, that's good. And what it would do is that it would would click here, and it would start following all of these people, okay? And then 1 or 2 days later it would unfollow, and in the meantime, while it's following them, it gives them likes and comments, which I don't recommend, and views their stories, okay? And for example, what I would recommend a lot is to use this button here, so that it only starts following the active ones, okay? It's only likers and commenters. So what it would do is it would go here, would analyze all of these profiles, would see if these profiles actively give likes and comment on his posts, and only to these people it would start following. Okay, it would do all of this, and let's set it up. It's very easy. So we already said we take this account, add promotion. That's good. And then this new promotion will be added to our list of active promotions down here, and it would show up on the right bottom. Okay. In the meantime, let's also consider, for example, another account. Let's say this Entrepreneur University is also interesting to us. So we could also consider our bot start to follow the Entrepreneur University. The way we set it up is easy. So once again, we copy paste the name here over there. And then it will show me the list of companies, of Instagram profiles that are similar to that. Once again, I would only like to use the active ones, so people who actually like and comment on them, and we can add the promotion. Moreover, we could also work with location based, we could work with hashtags. So let's see what it would do then is it would go here and would only take the people people who comment. Moreover, and the bot is also smarter, and it would understand, it would also be able to really see, for example, we can filter that we only want to add men, okay, only male profiles, or only female profiles, okay. Well, this is loading. Let's stay with just the Rafael Mayol one. So we created the Rafael Mayol, which is down here. Very important, we always want to deactivate comments, okay. Here's also the Entrepreneur University that I just created, and we want to deactivate comments because it's pretty obvious that it's a bot when it leaves these typical comments like great picture or stuff like that. So I told you it would be very nice to see, for example, that our bot, for example, only follows female profiles or male profiles. How do I do that? Well, very easy. I can go into the advanced settings, okay. In the advanced settings, here in filters, I could check for the gender and say it's either male or female, okay. And then it would go one after the other, and would only go to the profiles that like and comment recently, and that are either male or female, okay. What else can we do? Before we go into more details about the settings, I could also run other kind of promotions, for example, based on location. So these were just direct profiles. Here we can go, for example, and search for everyone who lives in Barcelona, okay. All the Instagram profiles that are related to Barcelona. For example, let's say profiles that are close to the Barcelona city, and I add the promotion. Good, that's an option what I could do. And I could also work with the hashtags. That's also very nice. So I could either do post owners or post lovers. So post owners are people who actually, so the Barcelona one added, I deactivate the comments, and here the hashtags, I could either work with people who actively use an hashtag when they post it, or people who follow these people. So for example here, I use a lot the hashtag Facebook ads, for example, hashtag Facebook ads. So I'm an owner, so to say, of the hashtag because I use it actively. So if I use here, for example, Facebook ads, it would start it would start attacking people like profiles like my own one. And if I would do it the same with the lovers, it would do it with my followers, okay. So people who engage then with the posts of these owners. So these are basically the three options. Targets is not relevant for us. Targets is only when you have a long list, an Excel file, for example, of Instagram profiles that you can upload here. However, the main ones are followers, locations, and hashtags. Good. And once we have set them up, they show up down here, okay. We can also delete them very easily if it has it done several times. Very important, always deactivate the comments, okay. Now I would like to show you the advanced settings and also where you can set up the comments. So I said I recommend to deactivate the comments, but if you're very interested in also sending some spammy comments, which I do not recommend to do, but you could also like these ones, nice picture, all of these things, you can set it up here, and yeah, then it would send it automatically, but I don't think it's a good idea, so I rather recommend you not doing it, okay. I also wanted to show you a little trick here. So let's go back because that loads a little bit longer, and maybe let's refresh that very quickly. That will probably help. In the meantime, I can show you like the numbers, how to interpret them down here. So when it has a white background, that's when it's the normal way, okay. When it is a green background, then it means that the bot is currently attacking exactly this one here. Yay. So now we're back. So give me a second. We're almost there. Yes, so now it works better. Okay, so when you have any kind of issues, just refresh the page and it's all good. So when you have a white background, that's all good. That's an active profile. When it has a green background, that's when the bot is actively attacking this account right now. So this hashtag in the case. When it has a gray account, then it means then it's already completed. Then we can just delete it down here, for example. So let's go back to the advanced settings and the little tricks that I wanted to show you. Settings and comments, for example. You see the nice pic has been added. Let's delete it again because we don't want them. And anyways, they're not activated, so it doesn't bring any big problems. Here in the filter section, I wanted to show you some additional things. I wanted to show exactly the kind of filters that I have set up. Here I recommend you the activity speed to not put it too slow, because with slow you wouldn't increase by several hundreds of thousands of followers per month. So the slow is not the optimal version. Also fast is not optimal, because with fast you would risk that Instagram sees that it's a bot and that it's not you organically. So just stay with normal. I also recommend you to use the night pause, because then after midnight, 3 to 4 hours, the bot will pause and it's more of an organic behavior. I recommend to deselect the comments and likes, because we don't like to put comments, as I said, but the likes and the few stories, yes. And I also recommend to have minimum likes of 1 per day and maximum per 2. Then what else can we do? As I've already shown you in the filter section, we could for example filter for gender, so just female profiles or just male profiles, which in my case doesn't matter. I also recommend to have newest here. Very important is here to skip the 10% accounts. What does it mean? It means, for example, that the bot mimics an even more organic behavior. So instead of just following everyone, okay, it will always skip 10% of the accounts, so that it more mimics your organic behavior. As you as a user probably say, okay, this profile is not interesting me, that's interesting, so on and so forth. What I like a lot and what is very important is this one here. Okay, so the maximum followers, for example, 6,000. Minimum followers, it says max, but it should say minimum followers, for example, 700. Then it would automatically search before it starts a follow. It would go to this profile, okay, and would see if this profile falls into our target categories. And our target category is between 700 and 6,000 followers. Well, this one, for example, 240, so it would not follow them. And the other one, 178, would also not follow them. Let's see if we find one that has a little bit more. For example, maybe this one. Okay, also not. Doesn't matter. And the way we can solve it, for example, if we see that our targets, they do not have so many, well, then we can just go down to a little bit less, and it's also good. So 600 is the fewest, and then we can just save, and it's all good. Okay, success, your setting has been set up. Cool. What I recommend a lot is working with this automated unfollow schedule. Okay, it's very important, because if your bot starts following every day new people, well, and if you don't unfollow them, this number here is gonna be very high, like 30,000, 50,000, and that's of course not ideal and not professional. So you want to unfollow them, and what I recommend is to work with the unfollow schedule. For example, I use the one from 4 in the afternoon till 11 p.m. and keep your personal ones, of course, because it would unfollow your friends. That's not good. And I also say that it should stay at least 1 day with the account. So when it starts following them, as they wait at least 1 day until you start unfollow this account. And I want to maintain at least 1,200, because it would also look a little bit unrealistic if I follow 0 people, for example. Okay, my bot is gonna start at 4 p.m. today, and it's gonna do exactly that. Moreover, right now I see, for example, I have 1,680 accounts that I follow. I could also, in addition to this window where it does it, I could also do it manually. So I could click here on the manual one. And here, for that, I also recommend you to click once at least on this read hour twice. So if you click here, it will open up this window here, and here are some general recommendations, some best practices, how you can really get the best out of it. And here it also says, important, if you initiate the unfollowing feature manually, do not exceed the daily limit of 700. So that's what I always have in mind. So when I do it manually, I do not unfollow more than 700. Okay, so 1,000, all of these I wouldn't do. What do I want to do? Well, it's 1,680. I want to go down to 1,200. So I do the manual unfollow of 500. And then it would start doing that already. So it would start unfollowing these 500 profiles. And what else do they recommend us here? So of course, add photos regularly, one photo every 1 to 3 days. And the more active your account, the more engagement you will get. So that's something that I also already mentioned. The better your feed, the better your actual value that you add, the better also the bot is going to work. Okay. What else can we do here? The comments we've seen, and then the limits. For the limits, that is very important for your account health, and I recommend to take a screenshot from the ones that I use here, because if it's too small, if it's too low, it would basically once again be the same as if you would do slow here. Okay, and if it's too high, if you are too aggressive here, it would basically be very similar to if you do fast here, and that's also not recommendable. So take a screenshot from these numbers and try to make them similar to mine, and you're going to be on the safe side. You see also my unfollowing feature has already started, and it will now manually unfollow all of these people. The last part of the module that I would like to show is how to work with your dashboard here on a daily basis, how to interpret the numbers. And here it is important to see what coverage means and what conversion rate means. So the coverage means how many profiles has my bot already interacted and how many of them have started following me then. Okay, and as a benchmark, everything that is below 1 is not good, 1 to 3 is okay, and everything above 3 is very good. So for example, this one's pretty good, and it makes sense because it's the hashtag Facebook ads. Okay, and it's me teaching Facebook ads, so it makes a lot of sense that this works very nicely. Then there's one that doesn't work that well. Maybe it's because it's a Spanish hashtag and my profile is in English. So what I could do if I see that this one doesn't work too well, well, I could delete it or I could deactivate it. Or what I also think is a good idea is this one right now only attacks profiles that are lovers from this hashtag but are not owners. So I could probably set up one and set up a new promotion for hashtag, but not the lovers. That's what I already did, but rather with the owners. So people who really post stuff with this hashtag. Probably this works even better than the lovers. So that's an option that I could set up, and I'm sure that this is gonna have even a better conversion rate than the 1% that I did here. Okay, so that was my little introduction on how to work with the Instagram bot. I've shown you exactly how to set up your account, and once your account is set up, how to start your own promotions for other Instagram profiles, locations or hashtags. I have shared with you my personal settings on actions, filters, unfollow, comment and limits. Moreover, I have shown you how to work on a daily basis and also how to start the unfollowing process manually. I really hope that this was helpful to you, and all the best and good luck with increasing your Instagram follower base. All the best. Goodbye.